want you to just think about for a second where exactly we are right now. We're in the middle of Harlem, in the Langston Hughes Auditorium, at the Schomburg Center for Black Culture and Research. We are at an event being hosted by Women in Islam, which is a human rights organization run by Muslim women. We're here honoring Dr. Betty Shabazz, whose imprint is on this world forever.
Just to kind of give you an overview of what these awards are about, on the back of your program, I don't know if you had a chance to look at that, but the expression, find the good and praise it, is noted there. And that was handed down to Dr. Betty Shabazz from her mother. And it was for her a core expression of how she wanted to live her life. And it's also for us as an organization a phrase that captures how we see the contributions of women in our communities and in our world. Women are incredible doers of great good. And like Dr. Betty Shabazz, women are doers of great good in spite of all of life's challenges that they face and that we face uniquely as women. So we offer this award each year to women who exemplify the values of Dr. Betty Shabazz: integrity, persistence, service, commitment, and hard work in order to lift up family, community, and society. I also wanted to point out that each year the awards are designed and carved for us by Ezra Plaques. It's a women-owned business, and very often for large Muslim events, Ezra Plaques is who puts together the plaques and the medals and things like that. So thank you to Ezra Plaques. Fatima Ashraf is going to introduce the awardees. Thank you.
As Sarah mentioned, Ms. Blanche Foster is a lifelong community activist. She is currently the executive director of the Darfur Rehabilitation Project. She is committed to bringing sustainable, positive change to a variety of communities, which is evidenced by her tenure with an impressive list of organizations, including the Interfaith Hospitality Network of Essex County, the United Nations Association of New Jersey, and the Coalition for Healthy Ports. As executive director of DRP, she brings together a variety of groups committed to justice and peace in Sudan, such as the New Jersey Coalition Response to the Crisis in Darfur and the United Nations Department of Public Information. Ms. Foster is the recipient of the United Nations Award Millennium Development Goal, Women's Rights and Empowerment, and today she is the recipient of our Compass Award. Ms. Blanche Foster.
I'd like to begin by thanking each and every one of you for being here. Because by being here, what you are doing is attesting to the fact that no one receives an award on their own. There's nothing that we do that we have not achieved, except that it has been a part of collective cooperation. And in that regard, I thank you for the part that you have played in my being able to look at this award, because it is not for me, it is for all of us. Margaret Mead has an expression which I love, but I never can remember, but it has something to do with the fact that the only changes that have ever occurred in this world have only been achieved by a few people. Indeed, that is the only thing that has brought change in our world. And I thank you for being a part of mine.
Our next award recipient is Ms. Jacqueline Ogega. She has dedicated her life to building peace. She is currently the director of the Women's Program at the World Conference of Religions for Peace. After receiving her degrees from the University of Nairobi in Kenya, she started a career to mobilize financial and human resources to situate women as agents of change. She has worked with Religions for Peace in Africa, Gender and Development Studies at the University of Nairobi, Gender and Development Program at Caritas in Kenya, and as the current director of the Women's Program at the World Conference of Religions for Peace, she has built fundamental infrastructure for building multi-religious cooperation for the benefit of women worldwide. Ms. Ogega.
Thank you so much, and it's a deep honor for me to be here today, and also to have the opportunity to share with you the joy of this day and the joy of this award. It is hope that drives people of goodwill to act together to advocate for women's empowerment, equity, and justice for a better world. It was the hope of Dr. Betty Shabazz and other great women in history that renews our hopes for a better world today. I have come to value resilience. The resilience of individual women raising their voices and breaking the silence. The resilience of millions of women building movement, such as Women in Islam and the Religions for Peace Global Women of Faith Network. Raising their voices to protect the rights and the inviolable dignity of every woman and girl. And above all, I have come to depend on faith. The faith that empowers all of us to bear the unbearable, to give hope when all seems hopeless, and to protect the earth when there is so much fracture and disrepair. This is why this award is such a great honor for me, as my work depends on yours to reawaken hope, to sharpen resilience, and to deepen faith, so that every woman and child can enjoy the inviolable God-given dignity and live to their fullest. I thank you, and I salute the women in Islam, and I salute all women of faith.
I'll just say a few words about Progress Theater. And I know that Dr. Shabazz would be really, really tickled to see a women-led theatrical performing group like these young women here. And when I saw them perform, you know, the art was speaking to social justice and retelling our history as a people surviving struggle after struggle and triumphant in that struggle. And I thought that, wow, the Betty Shabazz Award should definitely go to them to not only acknowledge the incredible talent that they exhibit, but also encourage them to grow to greater heights and to continue to inspire us. And Ilyasa Shabazz is here with us. And I know she doesn't like me to do this to her, but Ilyasa, would you come and present the Dr. Betty Shabazz Award to Progress Theater?
I'm sure you all heard me flip-flopping over this. But I do want to say, first, Sister Aisha, thank you so much because you continue to do a wonderful tribute in my mother's name and her honor, by honoring so many women who have contributed significantly. And